Welcome back. I'm Brooke, and this is Joseph.
So today we're going to talk about the 5 money mistakes that you can make in your 20s, the big things that are really going to hurt you. Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody here that it doesn't matter where you are in life, what problems you're going through, how old you are, young, old, doesn't matter. Today is the beginning of the future, so just remember that. Go ahead, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, do what you guys need to do. So we're gonna go ahead and start by talking about the 5 big mistakes people make in their 20s. I'm gonna let Brooke go ahead and start it.
So the first one, we can go ahead and just start with cars. Everybody wants a new car. All you gotta be able to do is afford that monthly payment and insurance, but it's gonna add up quick. And cars do not hold value very long. So if that thing can get you from point A to point B, get a nice car that you're gonna pay off and keep. Don't be getting a new one every 2 years. Oh, I paid one off, or halfway paid off, I want a new one now. It's a money pit. You're never gonna be able to make any profit off of that. But what we did, we bought a used kind of brand new vehicle. It had 40,000 miles on it. It was a 2013 Kia Optima, it's a hybrid. So we saved a ton of money on gas. We were able to go to Arizona for, how much did we spend on gas? Hardly anything. It's been a hot minute since we've been back. But we did super good on gas. So look into the vehicle that you're getting, do a little research on the quality, not just because it looks nice, but because it's going to be financially good for you.
So like she said, you don't want to just do payments. You don't want to get a brand new vehicle because you can afford the payments, or you don't want to trade in your vehicle for another vehicle because it looks nicer and you're only down $1,000 or $2,000 on the flip side. You don't want to do that. You want to try to be positive, and a car is not really an asset. The moment it drives off the lot, it loses value. I know everyone's heard that. So if you got to buy a hoopty fixer-upper for your first car, do it. Doesn't matter. You don't need that brand new Mustang or Ford F-150. You don't need that thing. So go ahead, buy a $3,000 junk car at first. If that's what it takes. You're only going point A to point B. You know, you should just be working in your 20s and fun with your friends on the weekends and stuff. But yeah, don't spend a bunch of money on a $45,000 vehicle or $30,000 vehicle. Just get what you can pay off, because those payments add up, and you don't want to be paying on something for 5 years, a normal car payment with 10-15% interest rate. That's ridiculous. So the next thing we're going to talk about is debt.
And just not to interrupt you, but on our car, we had it for 1 year and we paid $700 of interest. That's 1 year of borrowing. Our loan was like $13,000. We paid, was it $13,500 or $14,000? So that's still a lot of interest a year to hey, can I borrow money? $700. Could you imagine if you hold that loan the entire length? It's a waste of money.
Yeah,
So, and cars have the nicest features. Go ahead.
If you look at that payment online, it'll actually tell you what the end interest will be, like your total amount you'll pay. Ours was going to be ended up like $19,000, so I was actually like $5,000 in interest over 5 years. So it wasn't worth it. So we just paid it off in that year.
And we didn't settle. It has a sunroof, moonroof, backup camera, the side mirrors move, it does everything. It's awesome. And just look into the car, it has all kinds of features, so you can still get something nice.
So the next biggest thing people do is debt. They don't care about debt because all they care about is payments. I can afford this because we're young, or even if you're older, but we're talking about our 20s right now. We're in our 20s, so we think, yeah, I can afford this. I got a decent job, whatever. I'm stacking shelves or something, because you're not going to have a career right away. It's going to take time for you to get that. So don't try to afford something that you're not going to be able to afford if you lose that little job at Walmart or the warehouse or something until you get a real job. Stay out of debt. And if you do have debt, do the snowball effect. You want to attack your smallest debt and then throw that payment into your next debt. So it's going to continuously stack up. So if you have a $45 credit card payment, well, after you pay that credit card off, you put that $45 into your next debt. And eventually when you're out of debt, everything isn't easier, but everything is a lot easier. You'll see what I'm talking
about. Next one, what were we talking about? I'm trying to remember. So I can't remember on the list. I forgot.
Colleges.
Oh shoot, yeah. That's a personal preference. Some people want the college experience, and then some just want to get their degree and get out. So it's really, that's kind of on you if you want to have thousands and thousands of dollars of student loans and all that. But personally, I did not Astrea per se, but just community college online. If I'm going to go online, may as well just knock it out. And I got 2 degrees online. Anyways, be smart with school. You can do it quick. Honestly, I learned doing those fast track classes are honestly, it just cuts out all the extra work compared to those long classes, and you can knock it out. But if you use your sources right, like use FAFSA, I didn't pay to go to school. I was paid $7,000 to go to school. So I made money by going to school by using my CA and then FAFSA. And yeah, that was it. And they just paid me. But
So
yeah.
the big thing you need to realize about going to school is a degree is a degree. Most jobs really don't care if you got your degree from Harvard or if you got it from you doing 2 years at a community college and then went to Harvard. You know, it doesn't matter. But you need to do what's smarter for you. So you need to save money. So honestly, take the community college route unless you have some way to actually pay for that. If you do go to college, don't take out loans. Don't take out student loans. You're gonna pay those back for the rest of your life, literally the rest of your life. If you look up online, people talking about their debt or anything, their student loans are in their 50s and they're still paying them. Or they're just still paying their debts on their student loans. That's ridiculous. Try to cash flow it. Or if you can cash flow it for 2 years and then go to your big university that you want to go through. It doesn't matter. You're in your 20s. No one's gonna care about where you went to school when you're 40, 50, you know? So just be smart about it. The fourth thing we're gonna talk about is...
Oh, did you forget?
No. The fourth thing we're gonna talk about is budgeting. You need to learn in your 20s how to budget. If you don't know how to budget, you're gonna continuously live paycheck to paycheck. And it's not a fun thing. Even if you have a good job and you're making good money, you will still end up living paycheck to paycheck and you won't understand why. And when that emergency does happen, it's going to hit you hard and you're gonna regret that you didn't budget. So go ahead. If you look at our last video, our August budget, it'll break down how we did our budget and how you can do an easy budget too. So just go ahead and do a budget and try to stick to it.
You'd be surprised how much money you have left over. Because for a while when we first were kind of going over income and like, okay, maybe we should take a moment and just really see where we're at. And we were wasting a ton of money just going out to eat. That alone just adds up a ton. Even if you can just kind of limit yourself at first, don't have to go cold turkey, but just cut it out a little bit and then you can kind of work your way up to it. So it takes time, but in the long run, when you look at your savings account and you see a whole bunch of zeros, it's really nice.
Really nice, actually. And when that emergency comes and you can just pay it and it doesn't really affect you because you have that money to throw at that emergency, or you don't have that debt and now that money can go towards your budget and your emergencies, oh my gosh, it makes life so much easier. It takes out all the stresses, really, because what do you have to stress for? If your AC goes out, boom, easy fix. All that stuff is easy. Something in your car breaks down, easy fix. You have the money, you know. Mm-hmm. The fifth and final thing we're going to talk about is investing. Me and Brooke aren't pro investors, obviously. We are 22 years old. I've tried my get rich quick schemes. Do not try them. It's not going to work. If you see people online selling their courses and everything, don't buy it. If you want to get rich, look at all the people who've gotten rich the smart way, the way that's taken 20, 30 years, but they still are rich. They still are worth over $1 million. That's the way you need to go about it, or you should go about it. Brooke has her 401k
through my job. So they can typically do, I think it's up to 6% that they can match, but I'm doing the full amount because honestly through the military, we're lucky that we don't have to use medical. So I'm not taking out any medical right now. And then so it's just literally all 401k and then I keep the profit, of course, tax. So it's adding up. So they match that, what was it, other 6%. So there's a ton. What was I at when we had checked?
She was at like 4,000 and she's been working at her job for like almost a year. Come October will be a year. So already like almost 4,000. It was like 3,800 or something. Me, I should have been doing my TSP, which is the same thing as a 401k for the Army. You get matched. You get like a 3,000 a year, like match. You put 15, they put 15, you know. But I haven't been doing that because obviously we are just learning our own way and finding our own path. So I have 10 months left in the Army, so I technically should start doing it. I probably still get a good chunk of change, but since I'm not doing that, one thing I have been doing is Acorns. It's a really good app. You guys should download it. Even through the coronavirus and this big pandemic that's going on, it's affected everybody, and people were pulling money out of the stock market and doing all these other things, panicking. And my Acorns is still up 12% on the year. So I don't have that much in there. I have probably $1,300 in there because I just put $25 a week, you know. If you download the app, it'll explain how it goes. But you need to start investing now in your 20s. That way, when you're in your 60s or 50s, well, 59.5 is when you can pull your money out of your 401ks and your Roth IRA.
Without being penalized. Because if you do it sooner, they charge you.
So you need to go ahead and start investing now. $100 a month, all these other things, it adds up. Compound interest is your friend when you're investing. So go ahead, start investing. That is probably the biggest thing that you need to do, is start investing now.
And if you're like me and everything you just said kind of stresses you out, like investing, that stuff, whew, scares me. I'll just do the work stuff, sure, invest it, save it for retirement, and kind of deal with it when we get there. But with bills, don't be afraid to look around. For bills, you can literally, for electric bill, your car insurance, you can compare and go out there and see who can charge less. I did that for all of our bills and saved hundreds of dollars. So there's so many different things out there. Just take the time to look and you'll save yourself a lot to get that money back into your pocket.
Yep. So go ahead, start doing these 5 things. Make sure you budget. Make sure you don't overspend. Make sure you don't get a big car payment. Make sure you start investing. Look at the schools you're going through and all this other things that are really don't seem like big deals now because we're young, or you're young and you're in your 20s. It is a big deal. You just aren't, I'm not gonna say mature enough, you're not old enough to understand that it really has affected you yet, because it hasn't, because we're young and we're living paycheck to paycheck, or you're living paycheck to paycheck, or however it's going. So just start thinking about your future. That's all we can say, because today is the beginning of the future, like we said. So once again, go ahead, smash that thumbs up button, like this video, subscribe.
And turn on your post notifications for future posts. And that's about it. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.